Hi guys, Tony from the Heritage Line, and I've got my cup of tea. We have got parcels. That can mean only one thing. It's midweek mailbag time again. Yes, it's the end of the month. It soon comes round. Where do I start? Well, we'll do what we normally do. We'll start small, work big, see where we go. Right, further ado, let's get cracking. Right then, first parcel. Let's have a look. What did it say? It doesn't say a lot. It says it's sale of goods. What did it say? Screws. Right, there we go. Screws. Okay. Let's see if it's actually screws, shall we, guys? Let's get into it. Let's have a look. Oh. Okay. Well, it's partially right. These are actually screw terminal blocks. Okay. Now then, what did I... We've got some different pin variations. Those two tooth. Not sure if they're all the same. They look to be all the same. They're different and they're different. Right, I know what I got these for. I got these for an Arduino. Let me find an Arduino. I believe this is an Arduino. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. There we go. Right. This is an Arduino Uno. Right, this was my idea here. These are for prototyping. Normally you would actually stick in cables that have got the pins on and you jump them over to a breadboard. Now my idea here is I'm going to take all these black bits off and I'm going to replace them with some of these. These are actually screw terminals, and to be honest, if I'm going to stick this underneath a layout, then it'd be easier to actually put my cables into the screw terminals and wire it up as in situ. That's the idea. It's just going to be a bit more practical for me. I mean, yes, I do have an Uno here. It's in a case with screw terminals on, and they're the sort of pins that you get. But I just wanted something a little bit more permanent, you could say. This is what I've come up with. So, this should be very, very interesting. I don't know if I'm going to film it. If you want to actually see me convert this, then put it in the comments. Otherwise, I will just crack on and you'll see it in use later on. But yeah, there's an Arduino Uno R3 model, I believe. And these are the screw terminals. I've actually got enough to do 2 of these. So we could have some railway projects coming up soon, guys. So that's nice. We've got some screw terminals. Right, we'll go over to the listings and we'll see what the listings say. So here we are. These are the PCB mount screw terminal blocks that I have actually used for the Arduino. These are the ones that I purchased. As you can see, I got 5 of them. These are the 8-pin ones for £3.71. I could actually just get 1, which would be £1.79. There you go. So it changes, and we've got a range of pin blocks. We've got 2, 3s, 4s, 5s, 6s, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12. And I think this is why I went here. I just wanted to get all the pin terminals all together, in all honesty. And as you can see, we'll see what pitch it says. It says it is 2.54mm pitch. That is what it is supposed to be on the Arduino. But it's just a PCB mounted pitch. So it tells us it could be 2 pin to 30 pin. These actually only go to 12. It tells us the actual size of the screw. And lots of other things there. It is rated to 150 volts, 6 amps. Not that we're going to get anywhere near that, because the most I'm probably going to get out of this it'll be 5 volts because it's an Arduino. Going in might be different. It might be 12 volts at a max, I would say, that I'll be putting into it. But yeah, there's the actual listings, all the details there. And as we've seen, yeah, it should do the job. They are quite tiny, but you would expect them to be that. So there you go, guys. That is the item I purchased this time. So let's take a look at the next parcel. Have a quick slurp. Oh, right, next one. What does this say? It says 0603 SMD LED. Right, let's have a look. And indeed, it is OMD pre-wired. Okay, let's have a look. Let's get one. These are very, very tiny, wide up LEDs. See if I can get one out. There we go. It doesn't actually tell me what colour it is. Okay. Right, let's get the old lead tester out, shall we, guys? These are very, very fine wires. Right, so we've got the red. Okay, and we've got the black. Right, it's just a simple red LED by the looks of it. So it's just a 603 red LED. There you go, guys. See if I put a white background on it, shall we? There we go. So I don't know if that's coming up on camera. We'll try and zoom you in a little bit. It's actually red to my eyes. I'm not sure. There we go. You can see it a bit there. So yeah, it's just a 603 red LED. Very good. Right, we'll unclip that, and before I do anything else, I'm gonna print out this label and we'll put red on the actual packaging. Let me zoom you out a bit. There we go. I need to know that these are red, so I'm going to crack on with that while we take a look at the listing. So over to the listings. Right, guys, these are the pre-wired LEDs. Now I got some red ones. I couldn't find the exact listing. Now then, these are worth searching about for the prices, and it also depends how many you want. Now with red LEDs, I'm not going to use many, so I might go for something like 20 or 10. So we can have a look. We've got lots of warm white, 10 wired, pre-soldered. Let's have a look at this one. They're 1206s. We'll go to 603s. £6 for 10. Which isn't too bad, but it really depends on what colour you're after. Because if you look here, you get some yellow ones. I tend to use a lot of warm whites, and it's still £6. Well then, if you're looking for lighting, the main lights I use for buildings are either warm white or they are actually white. Now if you look on the listings here, we'll go up a bit. Let's see what we can find. 50 pieces. So I can have 50 of these. I could have £7.58, 50 orange ones if I wanted. Warm white, still £7.58. There are the 603 packages. Let's see what the 402s are. These are a lot smaller. Still £7.58, and you still can get 50 of them. And that's actually a good price. It's free postage. And there's the actual specifications. It tells us here exactly what sort of ratings we're looking at. We're looking at the voltage 2.8 to 3.4. It'll even tell us the brightness of the actual item. And it tells us the lead length as well. Because some come shorter, some come longer. I think the ones I got were 20 centimetres long. These are 30 centimetres long. And to be honest, when I don't keep a lot of the wire, or should I say, I don't. When I actually use the item, I cut the wire off, obviously, when I solder the wire on. Those little bits of wire that I cut off, I do keep because you never know when they're going to come in useful because they are very, very tiny bits of wire. Maybe it's just me being a Yorkshireman, I don't know, it's just something that I do. But if I deem the wire is long enough, you never know when it's actually going to come in. So there you go. These are the LEDs. This one's really good value, 50 pieces. But again, how many are you going to use? How many buildings are you going to wire up? Are you going to wire up just one LED in a building? Are you going to wire up individual rooms? Now, if you start wiring up individual rooms, it might be worth getting 50 of them. If you only wanted the odd red light, maybe for, let's say, a buffer stop, you might only want 20 of the things, because how many buffer stops are you going to have? You've got to be pragmatic at the same time. There you go, guys. There's a listing. These are the warm white ones, and of course I've just shown you can still get all the different colours as well. So it's really up to you. It's just worth shopping around and seeing what there is. Right, there we go, guys. That's my label made up, all sorted. Let's see what's in the next parcel. We'll put that over there. Okay, next parcel. What we got in this one? Lamp chip. Lamp chip. Okay, let's see what it actually is. And oh, it is. Right, these are actually LEDs, and they are actually addressable LEDs. So obviously they've been mounted on a PCB, and literally I've got connections under here. Let's zoom in, shall we, guys? There we go. So we've got connections under here. Basically, you should have, we've got a date, we've got a power plus, there should be a power negative, and then we've got a data in and a data out. And the idea is that these daisy chain together, because addressable, you can actually do some wonderful little light schemes. You can do like meteor effects, you can do rainbow colours, all the sorts of things you can get with the light strips. You can program them up on something like the Arduino, like I've just shown you, something like this. Wire that up to that, and you can make it work. So these are just some addressable LEDs that I've got, and we're going to have a little play, see what we can do with them. So yeah, that's quite nice actually. So we'll take a look at the listings and we'll see what the listing says. So here we go. These are the addressable LEDs that I actually got. And they are a good size. It actually shows it better here than it does on the camera. It shows the 5 volts plus, the 5 volts negative, your data in and your data out. And these essentially just daisy chain. You can wire up as many of these as you want. I got a 20 pack. Let's see what other options we have. We can have them in white, like that. And let's see what else there is. Or we actually could get the RGB Ws, the RGB WWs. What this actually is, it means that it's got the RGB light package and it's also got a white in there as well, which can be useful to have a dedicated white than trying to make the white up from the 3 colours. But we'll go back to the one that I actually bought, which was this one. And we'll take a quick look down. Now I got a 20 pack. And what does it say here? It says rope wire, which means you're daisy chaining an IP44. Well, the IP ratings usually refer to whether it's actually waterproof or not, and how much weather resistant it actually is. It tells me the lumens, the actual voltage of them, the output voltage, how many amps it can take. So it's got some very useful information. Item descriptions. Let you have a look at that, guys. You can pause that, you can read it. Tells us all sorts of stuff about the brightness and the different colours, the cascade speed. Because, like I said, with it being an addressable LED, you can do lots and lots of fancy effects. You know, you can actually turn one of these things, if you programmed it on your Arduino, you can actually make it into a welder, an arc welder effect. You can make it into, I don't know, the Litz Oyster, a flickering flame effect, just using one LED. So they have got lots of advantages. And I just fancied having a play around. I'm learning a bit about addressable LEDs. And these might be good for actually lighting up your buildings. You could actually control them where you might be able to have a light on in the lounge and that goes off, and then a light goes on in the bedroom, and little things like that. So it's well worth having a play with. So there you go. That is the listing for the WS 2812B. Right then, what is this? This is Jackdaw Express. It doesn't give me any more indication as to what it is. Let's just break into it. Let's have a look. And oh, okay. I'll have a little look at the little invoice off screen. All right, okay. This is A5 Vellum tracing paper. Now, I may have got some of this for tracing. How many sheets are in here? It says it's 150 GSM and there's 20 sheets. Now, I think primarily I actually got this to diffuse light. So yes, it is a tracing paper. But let's have a look, see if I can find something that will light up. Let me take one of these out. So, it's quite cloudy. It is tracing paper. I mean, in the past I've used baking paper, but you know, it's a lot better quality. Right, let's have a look here. Let's bring this the red LED back into play. Let's see if we can see what it looks like. If I can get it wired up right. Am I on it yet? Yeah, nearly. Right. Let's zoom in. Zoomy doomy. So that's your bright red LED. Let me turn some lights off. Let's go dark. I'll turn that one off as well. There we go. That's a better indicator. But as you can see, it diffuses the light. This isn't the best thing, but it sort of spreads the light across and you can barely see through it. Obviously, if it's close, you're going to get a spot. If I've got lots of lights in a building, I can sort of diffuse the light a bit. See if I can. There we go. Go right down now. So that's what I may be using it for. I think that's its initial purpose, is a light diffuser of some kind. It's something that you might be able to put into some buildings, and it'll spread the light and you'll actually stop it from actually looking inside the buildings. So there you go. That's the Vellum tracing paper. So we'll put the lights back on. Get ready for it, guys. Whoa, that's a bright light. That's a bright light. There we go. And it is actually a good thickness. It's 150 GSM. So that's a surprise. So we've got some tracing paper. So that'd be nice. That works. Probably not even get the sheet back in now without knacking it up. There we go. So we've got a lifetime supply of tracing paper. We'll zoom you out again. There we go. So we've got the tracing paper, and I'm going to struggle getting that in. Right. There we go. So we'll take you over to the listings and we'll see what the listing says. So here we go. This is the tracing paper. This really confused me when I opened it up. But it's called Vellum translucent tracing paper. Obviously you can use it as a light diffuser. Now it comes in different paperweights. Now what the paperweight basically means is how thick it actually is. So let's have a look here. This was the one I got, 150 grams. And let's have a look at some options. So we could have A6 at 90, or we could go all the way up to A4. Oh, they just keep going and going. Got 100, 110 GSM, and different amounts of actual sheets. I've seen 180 there. A4 25 sheets. And obviously the price is going to vary depending how many you want. I was looking at the A5 sheets in all honesty, because it's a nice handy size. I'm not going to use anything much bigger, so I can't see me using it much as a tracing paper. If I was going to use it as a tracing paper, I might go for the A4 sheets. But for what little I'm going to use, the idea of what I'm going to be using it for, I mean, oh wow, we actually get A3 sheets as well. Wow, okay. So there you go. That is the item that I actually picked. Now, what did I go for? I went for 150, didn't I? I mean, I could have got 50 sheets of it. But for £5, I didn't think that was actually bad value. What was the postage on these things? Free delivery. Even better. Does it tell us anything about the item? It says choose some different sizes. It's acid free. And it gives us a few ideas of what it's actually used for. So tracing, drafting, layering effects. It says here, suitable for inkjet and laser printers, but not guaranteed on all printers. I suppose that depends on what printer you've got and what ink you're using, and whether you may have to seal the ink. When you do the water slides, I know that when you print them out, you've got to seal the ink, otherwise it's going to run. It might be something similar with this as well. Well, there you go. That is the actual paper that I actually went for. Something very, very different, but I'm sure it will have a model in use. So let's get on and have a look at the next item. Right then, on to the next parcel. Let's see what the parcel's in this one. Doesn't tell me, it tells you it's from eBay, and it's from Matthew Marchants. Now that gives me an idea who it's from. Let's have a look, because I can't remember exactly what I ordered. Not even sure how to get into this box. Am I going the right way here? I don't know. Right, we're in. Let's just get rid of some paperwork first. There we go. Right, what have we got in here? First things first, we've got a Mini Chicks guards van. Oh, lovely. It's a nice grey and yellow guards van. Let's have a little look-see. Let's zoom in a touch. So yeah, it is actually, yeah, I can't see what make it is. Does it tell me if it's Mini Chicks? Yep, it's definitely a Minitrix. It's a Minitrix guards van. It's a nice yellow and grey one. It's an unusual colour. I've got an idea for a train for this. So there, that's quite nice. I know someone else who's into guards van. Somebody that's got a little bit of a fetish. So don't get too excited. You know who you are. Oh, we've got a sticky. We've got of course, we've got a sticky label, CGM models. Now then, this is part of Chris Merchant stuff. Unfortunately, I mean, Chris Merchant was very, very well thought out in the railway community, and he actually built a lot of chassis, and he did some super detailing on locos. They weren't cheap, but it was quality stuff, and he was a really, really nice guy. Now, unfortunately, he's passed away, and his son's obviously selling off a few bits and pieces that he's got left over, and this is part of that. So we've got a guards van. What else have I got in here? Oh, I've got a couple of other things. Now then, what's this? Right, we've got some EWS big beasties. Just some leftover transfers. They're just Fox transfers. I've got Class 60 and 92. So, what my plans are on that, I've got a mainline Class 60. So I'm going to put some beasties on it. We're just going to make it a little different. These look like air tanks, and that is exactly what they are. They are just air tanks. So not quite sure where they're going to come in, but little things like that, they do come in and they will get used. So I've got some air tanks, some big beastie decals, and a nice little guards van. So that's quite nice. So there we go. So nothing too exciting, but I will have a look at the listings for you. We'll see what it says, if I can find them. Right, unfortunately the listing is that old that I could not actually find my purchase on this item. I could not actually bring the actual details up. But this is the actual item I got. These are the EWS Beasties. These are from Fox Transfers, £9.85. That is what that decal will cost you now. I think I paid about a fiver for mine. But that's the actual decal. And again, with the actual brake van, I could not find the brake van. But this is the actual model. This is the old Hatton's website. Valuable bit of information this. It tells you the actual Minitrix model number and the actual livery is actually in. And you just got to shop around for these items. These often come up second hand. It is a second hand item. And you know, sometimes you could be paying a five if you see one at a show. You might be paying £20. You just do not know. It varies. Me personally, it's just a case of find one at the right price, and if you see it, you get it. And that's what I've done on this occasion. I found one that I fancied, found it at the right price, and went for it. So there you go. That is the brake van, and of course the air tanks. That is just a one-off item. I've got no way of finding those things. It was just something I wanted for my modelling scrap box. Really, it helps make up a scene. I can use little bits and pieces like that, just dotted around the scene, rusting away, or anything really. So there you go, guys. That is the brake van as well. Right, guys, I didn't press record. So the long parcel I am going to show you now. I can't take the wrapping off, but this is essentially what it is. And let's have a look, shall we? So in here, what have we got? We have got some plastic strip of some kind, and I've got there's at least 6 of them. These are quite long. These are ABS, and let's take a look, shall we? And let's see what kinds we've got. So in this one, let me get you. Let's find it. There you are. This one is just some L-shaped, and that is, I would say, 3mm by 3mm. And in the next one, what have we got? We have got a different shape again. This, I don't know. I think that's... Oh, that's like the curved ends. You can see the end profile. It's round. It's round end with a flat surface. I was thinking maybe that I may have got for some guttering or something like that. That may be what was in my head at the time. This one, what is this? This is some more L brackets. This is, I would say, 2mm by 2mm, so a little bit smaller. This one here, I believe it is just round rod. Yeah, just round rod, and I would say that's maybe 1/2 mil. Right, this one here, this one is some I-beam, and that's quite small I-beam. I would say, looking at the scale of it, I would say 2mm by 1mm. That'd be quite useful for bridges or anything construction like that. And this one here, let's have a look at the end profile. This is some more I-beam, and I would say that is 3mm high, and the ends are probably 2mm. So that'll be for a bigger build. So that might be due for the primary work on a bridge, and the smaller I-beam for more delicate sections. The rodding, I'm not sure what that's for yet. We'll get there when we get there. Let's zoom you out. There we go. So we've got the rodding as well. We've got 2 different kinds of L shapes. So we've got quite a nice little collection. Now this is 500mm long. So it's a good size, and I don't know how many come in a bundle, but I would say a lot. I'm not sure without looking at the listings, but we'll be doing that in a minute. And this really is for my scratch building kit. I've obviously got some ideas to do a little bit of scratch building in the future, and it's always good to have this kind of thing in stock. Now yes, I could get the evergreen stuff that we all see at the shows, or I could get the plastic stuff, but to be honest, it's very expensive. I mean, you know, to get an L shape like one of them, I needed some at one point, and I got some off eBay. I got the plastic one, and it's like nearly £3. It wasn't as long as this. Then I pay postage on top, and that makes it very expensive. Whereas here, I have actually got loads of it, and I've obviously picked it up at the right price. There was actually a sale on AliExpress at the time, so I made good use of it. And I think, from what memory serves me, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different items there. I think I paid about £18 for. And there's absolutely loads and loads there. But we'll take you over to the listings, and I'll try and find where I got it from, and you can take a look. There might be something useful. We'll have to see how well this glues, of course. That's going to be the crunch. But I'm hoping that my usual flavour, which is plastic weld, and I'm sure there's other glues out there, I'd say it'll work fine. But until we actually play with it, we won't know. But there you go. So we've got some plastic elements for my scratch building. Right, over to the listings, guys. So these are all the plastic bits that I bought, and this actually shows all sorts here. This shows what they have, and as you can see, it all comes in bundles of 25. So we've got 1mm half round, 1mm rod. I think that's the one I actually got. 1.5mm rod, goes to 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we've got the 2mm round tube. So we've got different tube sizes here as well. We've got the half round. I did get some half round. And it just keeps going and going and going. And as you can see, the prices are good. You know, £1.48 for some 2mm square. You get 25 of them. That is amazing value. Yes, you got shipping on top of it. And with it being AliExpress, there will be a little bit of tax on it as well. But even so, that's quite expensive, that one. £6.11 for 4mm. They're getting a little bit, but having said that, it's 5mm square. It, 50 centimeters long. That sort of stuff will last you. Well, we've even got some square tube as well. That might be useful in some cases. There's the old I-beam. All different sized I-beam there. Oh, the L's as well. Of course, I got some of the L's. And as I said, I bought a lot in the sale and I just went for it. There was a sale on, and I think I spent about £18 in all. But this is the actual item listings. I don't know if it'll say anything. Just a few reviews there. Specifications. Doesn't really tell me a lot. Just says 25 in the set. It's ABS plastic. It's white. 50 centimeters in long. So it does have its use. I'm hoping it'll glue okay. Lots of different choice there. So it may be an option if you're struggling to get hold of some of the plastic stuff or the evergreen stuff, and this actually works really well. This may be a better option. And there's all sorts there. It just keeps going and going and going. Some great pictures there of all the different things. I mean, I think I got the half round purely for guttering for buildings. As you can see, different shapes, different sizes. And I can't see there being any issues with that at all. So there you go. That is the actual listings, guys. So we got quite an assortment this week. Where did we start? Start off, we got some screw terminals so I can modify my Arduino board. What else did we get? Oh, we got the red 0603 LEDs that are pre-wired. Then we got the addressable LEDs. Now they're going to be something to have a little bit of fun with. Then of course we've got the brake van. We've got some decals. We've got some large beasties. This was an EWS took over some of the mainline stock. Rather than repainting the locos, they literally just shoved a big vinyl on the side. So that's to represent that. We got some air tanks. I think that I just picked up because there must have been the right price and the nice little modelling elements around to have. And we got the actual tracing paper. It's a nice quality tracing paper, and I think that'll make a really nice light diffuser as well. So I'm looking forward to having a play with that. And of course, all this ABS plastic stuff. That's all I can really say. We've got I-beams, we've got rodding, and we've got L-beams. So we've got a lovely assortment of items this week, guys. So there you go. I'm going to get off now. Enjoy yourselves. Have a good time and stay safe, guys. Bye for now.